Stephaine Kong, and I just want to say thank you for being a guest on my talk show.
Thank you.
Now, for people who want to know what uncensored is my way of showing people that even with a learning disability, I can still overcome controversy and reach my goals in life. At the same time, I'm able to turn myself into a perfect example for people out there dealing with any type of disability or learning disability, doesn't really matter. But you should never give up or have people label you, and you should prove to them you can still amount to something. Now, if it's a half hour, 45 minutes of your time, you can sing anything you want, curse if you want to, and it's just pretty much whatever you want to do. So, starting off, what can you tell us about yourself?
I'm a 19-year-old singer-songwriter. I currently attend the University of Pittsburgh. I'm studying psychology, and I'm doing research right now currently in two labs. And just like personal goals, studying people in general, looking how they interact. So yeah, just nerdy stuff.
Yeah, it sounds pretty cool. Now, starting off, are you like a study nerd or a party animal?
I would say study nerd because I do music a lot, and to do that you have to have like great discipline to do both and to try to be successful at both.
What about, the next question I was going to ask you is, do you do any sports or do you just like study?
Like, do I record? Is that what you're asking? Sorry, my computer.
Oh, like, do you do like any sports, basketball, soccer?
Oh, I run. Well, in high school I used to do cross country and I used to do track, so right now I still run. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Oh, that's really cool. I suck at running.
Do you do any, like, sports?
Sometimes I'm not really good with the hand-eye coordination things, but sometimes I play basketball, but, you know, like with you and your music, that's more of my passion, is making videos and just doing the editing. I'm more of an audio-visual person than an athletic person, if that makes any sense.
That still comes in handy. There's, like, a lot of people that, you know, techie guys, I don't know how to do, like, the tech work and everything. In music, that's really important for music videos and, you know, whatnot. It's an important, like, media feature, marketing feature. So that's actually a good skill to have.
Well, if you're interested, maybe we can work something out, or we can work together.
Oh, that's cool. That's a really good offer. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. And now the next question I was going to ask you was, usually these are in order, but I'm just going to throw them out. Actually, the easy ones, then we can go to the hard-hitting ones. Next easy one would be, do you ever gotten a chance to do one of those human pyramids, or are you not a human pyramid girl?
Human pyramid? You mean like stacking on top of people?
Yes.
Or like when I was younger, when I was in like elementary. That's when I remember, but not really, not much.
Yeah, I love that stuff. I know, I'm a loser.
No, I think it's a good quality to have, because a lot of people, as you get older, you sort of lose that innocence, and it's sort of something that's good to retain, because you get so regurgitated and like spit in the world that everything just becomes routine. So it's good to keep those qualities.
I agree. And now you mentioned you go to the University of Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
What interest got you into it?
I guess like just being close to home and everything, and that helps. My parents own apartments and stuff, so they have property nearby, so I could just stay there for free. Psychology and everything, I think it's interesting to study how people react and behave, and I like studying how individuals think. And it's just like, it's a combination of understanding the brain and understanding the anatomy of different individuals and understanding like different things. That's why I like it so much. And it really ties with sociology and songwriting as well, because you have to, I don't know, interact and understand how people work in a way. I mean, that's at least what my music is about. I know that doesn't apply to everyone.
Alright, well, now I asked you the easy ones. Now, before I get to the hard ones, I'm going to pass the show over to you. Was there any subjects you're very passionate about, or anything you want to talk about? This is your time, after all.
I guess like anything that you want to throw at me, I'm pretty open. I'm pretty open about my life. I'm pretty open about sharing like my hardships and, you know, trying to pass it on to others. So whatever you want to throw at me, I'm pretty good at answering. I'm open.
Yeah, who influenced you to get into the whole music thing?
So like, I guess like since my parents they weren't really musical, it was sort of. I think I like picked it up in school. I saw like a boy performing like at a talent show when I was younger, and he was playing guitar. I was like, oh, that's cool. But at the time, I didn't really get into music at a younger age. So that was like around 7 or 8. I saw this guy on the talent show and doing guitar work, and I begged my parents, but you know, them being Asian and everything, I shouldn't stereotype, but my parents, they don't really encourage other extracurricular activities besides like the typical stereotypical violin and piano. So I didn't get to pursue that at a young age of like 7 or 8. Instead, I had to wait till being 14. But I guess listening to current music artists and everything, and I figured that, you know, this was what I really enjoyed, even though I sucked at it. I wasn't good at the time, but that was the only thing I had around the house because I was made fun of a lot in school and I didn't really have anybody, so singing was a good pastime. And eventually I got more into it and I was like, okay, well, I might as well learn guitar or something.
That's true. Now let's go back to your high school years. Was it the type of school where it was all mixed? You know, like for example, not to be like, you know, it was an all Asian school or it was mixed with white people, black people. I didn't mean bad. I just meant like, did you have these stereotypical groups, like you had the Asian group, then you had the punk rockers, and then you had the gangsters, and then you had the nerdy kids? Was it like that, or was it completely random? And no disrespect, by the way.
It was basically just like, it was no diversity, so there was like 4 Asians. It was a very like bubbly suburb where everyone just wasn't exposed to other issues. So a lot of people were wealthy and like upper class, but my family, we weren't. My parents own a restaurant and they manage like a tiny Chinese restaurant and everything. So I was like, I didn't fit in with the Asian kids. I didn't really fit in much at high school, so that's why I like leaned on music, because it was my escape. Similar to how you do videos. So,
Right.
yes, but that was my escape and that was my outlet. And I sucked at it for a while, and then I just figured that, well, I have nothing else, so I might as well try to get better at singing.
Well, you would think your parents own a restaurant, like that would you be like one of the cool kids?
Well, I guess like not many people knew about it. It was in Mount Lebanon. That's where I'm from, so Mount Lebanon, Pennsylvania. But I guess like we eventually moved to like, you know, like the downtown area, not the downtown, sorry, but like Oakland area of Pittsburgh, and that was just basically that, like, since it was a suburb, not many people went out, like went beyond the suburb, so like no one really knew about my parents' restaurant unless I like spoke up about it. And the thing is, like, among the Asian kids at least, and among several individuals, if you weren't like, your parents weren't a lawyer, doctor, or professor, that's a problem.
Right.
Yeah, so it was just like, yeah, it didn't really work out.
But hey, your parents work in a restaurant, and hey, at least you can, yeah, if you use this to your advantage, you can bribe teachers. So you give me a good grade, you get a discount.
I mean, well, it didn't really work to that because like my parents are sort of illiterate. They don't know how to speak that much as well. So I guess it doesn't really work out with trying to bribe people and stuff. But yeah, that's a good idea though.
You know, I remember I was working in this one store, my first job, and I was talking to this Asian couple, and they didn't speak English. But so this little girl, I think she was about 5 or 6, and she did the, she was really bright and really smart. She did the translating what I said back to her parents, but I kind of felt awkward. I felt awkward about it because like, I'm not like, and just trying to find the words for it, I'm not like a pedophile. It's kind of awkward talking to a little kid.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't think that way anymore. But at the time, I have bad social skills, and one reason I do the talk show is to help. It's therapy for myself. You know, it helps me interact with people. It helps me with my social skills. I have panic attacks and social anxiety. It just helps me overcome it. And I recently started to do double interviews, and that really helps me interacts with people more, and it's, you know, it's good. But, you know, it's kind of like, that's my reason for it. But anyway, I was just trying to make you laugh with that story. I know.
No, that's actually a good story. That's a really good story to relate to, because I, like, as much as I sound confident in how I talk, I actually have that similar problem. I have, like, I don't know if you're familiar with, like, Asperger's and autism, but I feel like I have some aspects of Asperger's where I have trouble reading social cues as well, so I could understand and have social anxiety too. As, like, confident as I look right now, like, it's opposite with me. I'm better at singing, performing than talking in general, which is, like, really ironic, but yeah, that's how I am. I can do my job fine, I could do a script fine, but when it gets to talking and everything, I'm terrible at it. I'm usually too blunt, and then people take it, like, it's hard for me to read cues as well. So I don't know if you can relate to that, where you have, you know, trouble reading social cues, and sometimes, like, I don't know, are you blunt too? I don't know if you...
Like, I have parts where, like, I can see myself doing it, but I hesitate. And that was another big thing I'm trying to get over. Is I used to hesitate a lot. So I feel like I have to kick myself in the ass. It's like, you know, if I'm very passionate about it, why am I hesitating? You know, it's... But, you know, I can't... I guess if you think about it, kind of socially awkward. but you know, I make the best of every situation. It's a learning experience. That's basically what it is.
That's what it is for me too. So I am socially awkward as well, and I don't, like, I admit it too.
No, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt you either. Yeah, but like what I was saying, I'm socially awkward as well.
Now, the next, do you have any subjects that you're very passionate about? Anything that motivates you? Anything just plainly pisses you off?
I mean, I don't like liars, but I think that goes for anyone. That upsets me. Like there are a couple cases in my university years where, so far, there are a couple people who you wouldn't think would lie to you, but have lied. So, like, I guess, like, there are several, like, there was a teacher instance where, you know, this teacher was lying to me when she basically, like, she said she liked my advice, but then she lied.
Right.
Which was weird, because usually teachers are supposed to be honest, so that doesn't help with the social anxiety or, like, the social, like, cues or, like, oh, what am I supposed to do now? Because usually teachers are supposed to be, well, you'd think that they'd be your trusted figure, you know what I mean? And if they, like, support you or reinforce you with something, you know, you expect them to not lie about it.
No, absolutely. You know, this high school I went to is similar to what you're saying, but the high school I went to is basically, if you were a jock, if you were a bimbo, if you were a link in person, or if you had money, you can do whatever you want. Teachers would turn a blind eye. But if you are someone like you, someone like me, who was an outcast, who wasn't on their radar, they will give you a hard time. You know, half the cars in the parking lot from the high school belong to the students, and you know, it's ridiculous that the bullshit that they get away with. But you know, if I did something, you know, oh, it's Keith, what you gotta do this time? But you know, most of the students I didn't get along with, you know, because they were mostly assholes. But the teachers too, you know, there's some of them that are really nice. One of them that I'm thinking of is, I joined the audio-visual department, and he really showed me how to make a video. He let me explore, because my high school had a high school radio station. So he let me explore on high school radio, do my own show. I used to be known as the kid that used to run around with the video camera, because I always had the camera in my hand, and I was constantly making videos. I was like, oh, there's Keith again, with the camera, making another video. And then it's, you know, and then there's other times where students would start up with me or know that the teacher really liked me. So they would conjure up some kind of bullshit saying, oh, Keith is doing this, so be on our side and let's pick on him. I remember one teacher I really wanted a backhand. But I didn't because I was a good person, but I really wanted to. But the thing that fires me up is I hate being disrespected. That's the one thing that pisses me off. So, going back to the teacher when I wanted a backhander, because I took special ed classes, so basically the teacher thinks, oh well, I'm going to do whatever I want, and whatever you do, no one's going to believe anyway. So she picked my bag up from the ground, and I was watching her, and it's like, no, don't look at me, look at your work, do your work. Picked my bag up, took it to the desk next to me, and she completely just opened it and dumped it all over the desk. And I bit my lip, and I went, son of a bitch. And I was biting my lip, but I was so pissed I didn't call her son of a bitch, I was thinking it. I said to her, what the hell is your problem? And she looked at me and was like, excuse me? I said, you heard what I said. How would you like if I walked over to your desk, opened your pocketbook, and dumped your crap everywhere? You wouldn't like that. So don't do that to mine. So she got up and went, and the other main teacher came in like, whoa, now she has a main teacher, and she was the teacher's aide. And now the main teacher comes in, why don't you tell her what you said to me? And I was like, no, I'm not looking for a fight, but if you do it again, I will. You know, it's like that, you know, I really didn't have any arguments with, I used to have arguments with students, picked on by the students. Hit and miss. But it was mostly the teachers. There were some teachers I really liked, and because they let me do whatever I want, and they were supportive, as far as I know of. But at the same time, there are other teachers that just like pushing your buttons because they want to see what type of person you would be.
Yeah, and that's what I found out in college too, so I can relate to that. And it's just so sad because when in reality those teachers shouldn't be in their positions because they're not supportive. Like, it's just really sad because I feel like there's teachers that discriminate, and it's just like you really shouldn't be in that position. It's just like you're like basically the tax money and the tuition money is going funneling toward their salary. So it's just like I rather pay someone that's honest and, you know, supportive and not discriminatory than someone who's just an asshole. Way to put it short, it's true. It's just like it's a lot, like it's money, it's tax money, you know. Even for high school, middle school, and elementary, they take money to, you know, support the school and, you know, basically funnel it. So that's what my honest opinion is. And yeah, basically I totally agree with you, and I'm sorry to hear that happened.
Yeah, like you said, it's a learning experience, but the most important thing is it's not your karma to worry about.
Yeah, and I agree. And that's what I found out. I mean, there's like people out there that are like that. I feel like in any profession, and it's just like you just have to find the people that are honest, that are, you know, good people. And good gems are hard to find. It's true.
It is. Now the next, I'm going to ask you some hard-hitting questions, and you can ask me anything you want. This is your time after all. But the first question I'm going to ask you is, where do you stand on legalizing marijuana?
Legalizing? I'm pretty open-minded, so I feel like it's a good medical drug, and it doesn't, like, there hasn't been any deaths as I've heard. So, I mean, I'm supportive toward it, like, helping other people and everything. And, you know, and I feel like the government could probably make some decent money off of it. I mean, I'm pretty, like, open-minded, and, but I don't really get into politics that much. But I feel like it's good for, you know, if people need it to calm down. Like, I think there's been some studies that, you know, out there, even, like, in California and stuff, where it's been a good medical aid and medical use. So I think it's good for that. But yeah, but I don't know. I'm just not into drugs in general, but, you know, I respect the people that do it and everything.
Yeah,
it's their body, their lives. It's not for me to go and tell them what to do and what not to do.
I agree with you, and I'm for that. I'm for legalizing it, but as long as you use it responsibly. And the same thing with drinking. You know, actually, I'm more for smoking weed than drinking, because even though both of them mess you up, and if you abuse it, it causes. And Wrapping up, do you have anything you want to say to your fans and listeners? Any funny stories you like to share?
Not really funny, but just like serious weird stories that have happened to me over the university. Yeah, I just like never expected it, but they were like serious. I don't know if they're funny. But yeah, but otherwise, like I guess like check out my music on iTunes. There's Stephaine Kong. But yeah, and I'm just like very thankful that you took the time to interview me, so I thank you for that. And if you just like want to work together on the technology and visuals, just like let me know and text me. So yeah, but otherwise I really appreciate your time and I thank you.